Hey guys, Redrix here. Hope all of you are having a great day. Today is the mid-season patch, which is update 7.3.5, and this is the release of a lot of new changes, updates, and the release of the Guardian games. Obviously, you guys know Titans are going to win. Please let me know your thoughts. Even if you don't like Leech, just let me know your thoughts on who's going to win Guardian games. You guys know Titans are going to win. All the Hunters and Warlocks out there, they're not good enough for the Titan class. They're just sort of booty cheeks. So you guys know Titans are going to win Guardian games. That's end of the debate. My opinion is just more valid than yours, okay? Sorry to break everyone's balls, but Titans are winning again. But moreover than that, we got a new leak that came out a couple days ago. I want to cover it. It has some interesting info because it kind of goes into more tweaking, polishing, some things that we could see in the campaign, and moreover the exotics of the exotic armor pieces and weapons. But again, when it comes to this topic and this individual exotic type stuff, this is really something you could definitely see someone make fan-made and put it into a document like everything with leaks. So again, take it with a grain of salt, but it's looking more on the unconfirmed. Maybe I'm going to put in the red little fake category on this stuff. Again, take it with a grain of salt. I do not know what the credibility right now is for this leak because I didn't really see anything on it. But again, this could be fake. This could be unconfirmed. As I said in my last video, it'll be on the top right corner. You'll have a memo if anything changes of the credibility. But let's just get right into it. I hope all of you are having a great day and you can help me get to 30k. We're only like 30 subs away, and then I want to maybe get to 50k. Who knows? But again, thanks for all the support, for getting the excitement back. I know Destiny is in a really bad space right now, and we're hoping that we can get some W's in these next couple of months. Something to also point out, because it's fairly interesting, with the last two expansions, Witch Queen and Lightfall, we did get 2 exotic armor pieces, and we would usually get 1 exotic armor piece per season. This season, Season of the Witch, we did not get an exotic armor piece, and it looks like it's going to be hinted at that we're going to get 3 exotic armor pieces with Final Shape. I know some of you are probably like, there's no huge change in that. I do love exotic armor. When exotic armor came out in D1, I just loved it, and I gotta admit, with Lightfall, despite being a bad expansion, they did have some good exotic armor pieces, and it can really help change some of the things on the battlefield in PvP and PvE. But I love the PvE more sort of sorted exotics when it comes to things. So yeah, let's get right into it. Hope all of you enjoy. So let's start out with some of the basic campaign final shape stuff, and then we'll move into exotics and some other things. So let's go into the campaign. Now, apparently the Final Shape campaign is 9 story missions long. Again, this has been a big controversy. It has been all over the place. I believe it's going to be 8 or 9. It's somewhere around there. You guys know that the majority of the campaign will launch right before the raid, and then we will be sort of on I wouldn't say a hiatus, if you will, but as soon as the last mission of that first half is finished, we'll have the raid that second weekend, and then once the raid is done, we'll have the last mission of the Final Shape campaign come out. So the campaign will not basically be done until the raid is completed, until that last mission is unlocked. So that's going to be a little bit interesting because it's never happened before. So just to let you guys know. So the first 2 missions, apparently according to this leak, are about the Pale Heart, finding Cade, respectively. Remaining 7 missions are about our approach to the Witness's monolith, named the End Singularity. That's what the name of it is, so point it out there if you will. As we approach, the danger escalates. People are not prepared for the subjugators bring to the table, especially in legendary difficulty. They are essentially trials cheaters, but as PvE enemies. Yeah, so I wanted to read up on this. I was looking at the Vidoc the other day. Apparently, they're really going to bump up the difficulty and the energy when it comes to subjugators. Obviously, you guys know that Tormentors were something that were released with Lightfall, and a lot of people had some good reception to them, even though sometimes they could be annoying. It was a new change to the battlefield and a new change to us, shooting things, because we've been shooting the same damn enemy. But it looks like they're going to try to bump up with the subjugators. Obviously, now that they can use Strand and Stasis, can definitely bring a bit of a challenge, so be aware of that. The End Singularity is the most unique, most beautiful environment that there is in Destiny, designed with art pieces from artists such as the M.C. Escher, Salvatore I don't even know these names. I'm going to put up all these names if I'm saying these wrong. Really forgive me if I'm pronouncing these names wrong. And Ever Munch in mind. The entire area feels like something disconnected from the entire universe. The actual final shape is left ambiguous by the conclusion of the story, but end singularity is the witness's idea of what it is to manifest. Stairways leading into each other, the environment cut perfectly into pieces. We actually saw some of this in the huge reveal from the final shape. Some of this was visible during the showcase when we saw rocks in the pieces, or the Scion Flash frozen and cut into pieces. So you guys did see it, sort of that blocky type, structures, maybe things you would actually think wouldn't be a thing in the game, maybe like actually like big blocks and not looking like a real environment, sort of like that. That's what the end singularity is supposed to be noted to be by. Not much to say about the raid, but it will be like Last Wish King's Fall. Obviously, you guys know that Bungie is making final shapes basic quality, or how they've been saying it in Twids and how Bungie has been saying it all over the time. They want to put it up on the level of Witch Queen, King's Taken King, and Forsaken. So the raid has to be amazing. And again, this says in shears of terms of scale and length. Witness is fought in 4 phases. We talked about this for the last couple of years at this point. We talked about how the Witness is going to be fought in different phases, and as it's been already confirmed that he is the raid boss, you're probably not going to see just one encounter. If you look optimistically at this, and if you don't believe this leak, it won't be done for a character like the Witness to do in one phase of a raid. It's going to likely be the entire raid doing it. 1 phase for each darkness element, 1 phase where it's falling apart. As leaked previously, we end the Witness in a 12-man activity. That was also leaked a while ago, but it's looking like that's happening now. However, while we succeed in ending the Witness, what happens after is the collective souls which make up the Witness, which we learned back in Season of the Deep, are split apart and leaked out. This is our new enemy race. Now, this is getting a little bit controversy criticism, because again, that is so awesome on so many levels, but the way of how that could come out can be really amazing. But if they don't do it, I'm just going to be like, God damn it, Bungie, you should have listened to this, because the way of how it works, I don't remember, again, believe me if I'm wrong, but because we had some leaks back in the past, and they've been saying we might not get a new enemy race, we might not get this and that, technically, we kind of know the enemy race that the Witness were. I don't know the name of their people. I don't know if we got that. I'm not a Bife lore guy. I wish I was, but I'm not. So technically, we kind of know that they're an enemy race, so it wouldn't technically be new. So in theory, it could definitely be an enemy race if you think about it, that we know. And this wouldn't just be something that comes out of the bloom. I know in a couple leaks we would have to. There has been talks about how you can't really destroy the darkness, but you can find a way to harness the darkness out of the Witness to make him vulnerable, if you will, and eliminate his sort of power. I don't really understand that sort of thing, but you kind of get the gist of it in terms of killing the Witness. You can't just go out and shoot bullets with, last word. It's not gonna fucking work. You know what I mean? Like, you need to do something. So you get what I mean with that. Bungie intend for this to be the biggest surprise with the expansion, a whole new enemy race. If that is the case, this expansion is already amazing, because looking at that, we getting a new enemy race, that would be the first time ever in the Light and Dark saga. It's kind of weird, because looking at that, it's the end of the saga and we're getting it, and the saga would be over. So that does happen. We're in good stuff going. Red subclass is alluded to, and the element is confirmed. There's one post-campaign mission where we investigate the remnants of this new darkness power post-Witness, and these new enemy race units use this power against us. However, we will not be getting a new subclass in the final shape. It will be launched in a future release, quote-unquote expansion. Again, if expansions are going past the final shape, that's more likely. If there won't be any expansions for a while, if Marathon will be the main, topic for next year, maybe we could see it in an episode launch. That is also possible. Episodes are definitely still a huge mystery and surprise, and you got to be very optimistic on what they could actually bring to the table until we find out later on. Episodes are essentially longer seasons, vaulted every year. That's what the word of the episodes are going to be, but if it's being confirmed that expansions are going to still be coming sometime maybe in 2025, 2026, then that is also good. 10 Years of Destiny pack will be launching in September. This is sort of maybe a 30th Bungie anniversary pack, but for the 10-year anniversary, obviously you guys know in September will be 10 years since the launch of Destiny 1. Apparently this pack will bring back Prison of Elders into D2, which will be free to all players, along with exotics like Pocket Infinity, Zono Supercell, Nemesis Stars, Super Good Advice, Quests for Nova, Mortis, and Abandon will be part of this pack. Now, this is very optimistic, and a lot of people will call this fake and false, but again, that's what the same people said when all these leaks said that Gjallarhorn will come back, and then it did. So I am actually pretty optimistic about this, and this is something Bungie would likely do with these sort of packs. If Bungie isn't, maybe I wouldn't say a need, maybe there. I don't really want to go into the whole financial, development Bungie studio money situation, because again, I'm not a studio manager. I don't know how much money if they're needing, but as you guys know, they're below 45 projection 45 revenue below their estimated projected amount that they were going to get over last year. So if they were looking for money, they definitely could release something like a $30, $25 pack and release like 4 or 5 exotics from D1 or new ones and put Prison of Elders and a free activity like maybe the Dares of Eternity, something similar, and they would definitely get some people to go back. Again, maybe after Final Shape's over, they're like, okay, we'll hit the hay, and then maybe for September you go like, I want to play Destiny just another day again, and we get back into the next 10-year saga, and we play the next 10-year of Destiny pack that comes out for $45. Who knows? But again, you would see maybe releases of those, nostalgic weapons like Pocket Infinity, Zono Supercell, Super Good Advice, a lot of guns that I know Forcer loves. So, just to point it out there. All right, let's get into some of the exotics. So apparently it's being quoted that it's going to be a grand total of 9 exotic armor pieces, 3 for each class, which is amazing because over the last couple of years, we've had definitely a different amount of armor pieces. We've had, I think, 2 was sort of the amount we were going to get, so really 6 was going to be what we were going to get, I think, for Final Shape prior to the release of Season of the Witch, but it looks like they didn't release an exotic armor piece this one, and it looks like we're going to get 9, so that's great. So let's start off with Titans, because Titans are going to win the Guardian games. So we have 3 exotic armor pieces. Let's start off with the third exotic, which is named to be determined, which are exotic legs. This basically will help the solar subclass. Sunbreaker hammers will deal significantly more splash scorch damage within the added bonus of curing allies. Direct impacts deal 60 scorch stacks per hammer. This is interesting, maybe like a Lumina sort of type deal with those exotic leggings from, I don't even remember that season that they were released in. Let me know. They're the... I don't know. I don't remember the name, but you get the point. They're definitely interesting exotic leggings for solar. Like we need that more often because solar hammers are just so amazing. All right, let's go into some arc exotics for the Titan. We got Fist of the Soul Soldier. Juggernaut no longer sabs class ability, but it has a 5-second cooldown between sprints. When the shield breaks, it releases a blinding explosion. Interesting. I don't really use Arc too much, but again, Juggernaut is definitely an interesting, thing to use because obviously Arc is just the way. It's like the Mandalorian, the way of amazing synergy with weapons and explosions and combos. So definitely interesting there. We got another exotic arms, which would be called Fury of the Smith. Buffs Twilight's arsenal lingering vortex by extending it for 3 seconds and adding suppress. Axes weaken when using heavy attack. This is interesting because this is going to be the first exotic that actually is referencing the new Axes Void Super that Titans are going to get in the Final Shape. So if this is the case, this might be the exotic to get. And remember, I believe like they're going to do with last year, as soon as you finish the legendary campaign, you will be having a choice to pick between one of the 3 exotics, or 2, depending on when they're going to release them, after you finish the campaign of your choice. So this is awesome if you love the legendary campaign and you want to get a new exotic armor piece. Let's go on to Hunters. Again, for the third exotic, which named to be determined, is a helmet. Hunter Solar and Healing Grenades are slightly buffed. Regular Solar Grenade lasts 3 seconds longer and deals significantly more Scorch stacks. Healing Grenade heals significantly more immediately upon collection impact, and it adds Restoration ×2 for 3 seconds. Again, I'm not a Hunter guy. I used to be back in the day, but I'm not anymore. But looking at this, you can definitely see that there's a lot of more healing synergy being added to these exotics, and I think that's what That's one of the reasons for the release of the new healing auto rifle frame that's coming out, where you can shoot with an auto rifle and then you could switch seamlessly to your allies and heal them. So maybe a lot of synergy with the healing type area once you get your hands on these exotics. And probably Lumina's going to probably come out on top again, because Lumina is just amazing. Let's go on to this other exotic helmet that deals with the Hunter Void subclass called Tracker's Volley. Void smoke grenades are buffed. Smoke cloud is now bigger, adds a poison damage over time, which spreads a la, Osteostriga Necrochasm, necrotic rip poison if an enemy is killed by the smoke grenade or subsequently poison. No synergy with weapons of Suro, however. Really does suck to have that not work. A lot of people are really wanting Bungie to add more synergy, like Osteostriga and necrotic rip, so to have no thing like that, again, it can be, painful. But they are saying that void smoke grenades are going to be buff, and this is probably going to be something a lot with the invisibility, stealthy type aesthetic with hunters. So if you're into that, there you go. Now let's get into these exotic gloves that deals with the Arc Super. Now, it will buff Storm's Edge by allowing you to throw an additional super knife, along with adding blinding as an effect to each knife throw, resulting in 4 knife throws up to 3. Each knife will jolt and blind targets. Again, really interesting. I know a lot of people are actually kind of in the field of this new Arc Hunter Super, so to see some more synergy there, it is great. And I don't know if this will have anything to do with the new Arc Super for Hunters. Maybe the knife throws will have something to do there. Stuff to be interesting about. And to end off this video, let's go on to the Warlock exotics. So let's talk about the last exotic, which will be a chest named to be determined, which we'll talk about Nova Bomb. So the Lance Nova Bomb now launches more quickly, and the explosion releases a burst of suppress around a target. Really interesting here if you are a fan of the Nova Bomb. Let's go on to an Arc Warlock Super, which will be for the helmet, which will buff Chaos Reach. Duration is extended by 5 seconds, and sustained beam damage on a single target will result in a small arc pool, which will being dropped around said target, similar to Warlock Enhanced Solar Grenades, with which jolts enemies. So this is awesome as well, because I know Chaos Reach back in Forsaken days were just amazing, and I think some people want it to be amazing like it used to be. So if we can get Chaos Reach giving some love, hashtag make Chaos Reach great again. It's probably okay now. I don't really see it at all anymore, but to have some, again, to buff some of the beam damage and make it actually something you would use in raids and pinnacle activities, which would be really cool. And lastly, we got this Solar Exotic Chest, which will actually also help with the new super for Warlocks, which is the Songs of Flame. So basically, buff Songs of Flame, designed as a nod towards D1 self-res, when Song of Flame is equipped, critical damage when shields are depleted will result in a one-time burst of Cure, Resto, and an Overshield. So this is something similar to, I don't know the name of the exotic that's in my mind right now. It's not an exotic, sorry, it's the Void subclass. Basically, Void subclass in a nutshell for the Solar class, because when you're low and you're critical damage, and then boom, you're back at it for the just getting all Overshield. And yeah, I think this would be great, because I don't think a lot of people want self-res back, because it just would break the game, but a huge burst of, getting health back and an Overshield, it seems more balanced to me, in my opinion, but that's just me. And that really wraps up all the exotics and all the things we know with this leak. Again, let me know your thoughts on it. It does look interesting. We don't really know too much right now, but we will talk about it more for going forward and see if there will be any more credibility going into this for the next couple of months. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, guys. Love ya.